Srila Prabhupada's genius as a manager and as a spiritual leader. So it's a very important place, ISKCON, Washington, D.C., right in the capital of America, still the most powerful country of the world. So now we're going to hear from this book, Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudeva, which is called a beautiful story of the personality of Godhead. The thing is that in America, everyone knew God. God was up there. In God we trust on every dollar note. But nobody knew who God was. It's a big problem. You know that we all know there's a president of the United States, but we also know now it's Donald Trump. And same in America, Russia, Putin is a person, not just a post. The word God is a post. He's a creator, he's a destroyer, a maintainer, etc. But who he is and how to love him was never taught in the Western world. Jesus tried his best to try and teach just to love God, and I was influenced very much by that. But still, he never revealed who is this God the Father. So this verse very important from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Where's the book? Where's the book? What happened to the book? Where is it? I can't see it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can someone give me the book, please? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 7. Okay. One, two, seven. Srimad Bhagavatam. 1, 2, 7. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Subharagyam Jnanam Cha Yadohaitakam. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Subharagyam Jnanam Cha Yadohaitakam. Someone like to try? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Subharagyam Jnanam Cha Yadohaitakam. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Prayagam Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Subharagyam Jnanam Cha Yadohaitakam. Any ladies? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Jnanam Cha Yadohaitakam. Thank you, Vasudeva. unto Krishna, Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead, Bhakti Yoga, contact of devotional service, Prayojitaha, being applied, Janayati, does produce, Ashu, very soon, Vairagyam, detachment, Jnanam, knowledge, Cha, and yet that, that which, Ahaitukam, causeless. Translation and purport by ISKCON founder Acharya His Divine Grace Abhayachan Arinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Please repeat. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport. Those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, is meant for those who cannot perform the high-grade activities listed above. Generally, it is said that the bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent women class. Shudras means labor class, Vaishyas means business community, and the less intelligent women class. But that is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult, the cult of devotion, is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it's easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. To achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is a great science. And it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, the Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of the high-class men, like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self-realized kings. Brahmanas means like spiritually developed intellectuals and thinkers like that. The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc., are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. The principles of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual. And the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. Becoming detached from material things does not mean becoming inert altogether, as men with a poor fund of knowledge think. Naiskama means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad effects. I'll explain that later. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essentials does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The Bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of the Bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and it becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the Bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the living being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That is a sign of a pure devotee. He is not a fool, nor is he engaged in the inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of the Bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. Om Jana Timrandasya Jananjana Salakaya Shakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasari Gopakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Makam karoti vachalam pangam langaite girim, yat kripa tadaham bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. By the mercy of Guru, a blind man can see the stars, a lame man can climb mountains, and a dumb man can speak poetry. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So America, especially people in India and the so-called undeveloped nations, they look to America as being scientific, technological advancement to conquer material nature by doing wonderful things like shooting rockets to the moon, inventing radio, TV, and motor cars, blah, blah, blah. But actually, is that right? Is this actually purpose of human life? Instead of going on 4 legs, to go on 4 wheels. Is that right? Now we're running on 4 wheels, or maybe I counted sometimes 16 wheels, sometimes 30 wheels. But what are we doing? We're doing 4 things. Let's analyze what we're doing in America and Europe and all over the world and Russia also. 4 things. Ahara nidra bhaya maitanam cha samasyametat pashabhisama. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They're the same as the animals. Isn't it? I mean, I'm not just making this up. It's common sense. What are we doing with our big house? This area is very big. So many big houses around here. And all over America. And there's so many things. But what are we doing? Why are we running all across America in our car? One devotee was going to drive to Dallas. Take 15 hours to drive to Dallas. Amazing. But, what are we going to do there? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It's like the animals. So, what is the improvement? What is the human life meant for? That is the question of Srimad Bhagavatam. It begins with the Tatu Brahma Jigyasa, Janmadhyasya Yato Navayat. That we have to inquire, what is the source of everything? Now, modern scientists say, although it's crazy, it's ludicrous, that everything comes from a Big Bang or primeval soup or something else. There's no center. In the Western world, they thought that in the Renaissance, the earth was the center, then the sun was the center, then Einstein said there's no center. So then what's the truth? We don't know. So scientists are saying, I think this, maybe this, perhaps this. Is that the way to run a civilization? Is that the way to run a Harvard and big universities? I think maybe, perhaps, you know. Why don't we have real knowledge? So this Krishna conscious movement is introducing very seriously Avaroha Panta, descending knowledge. The modern science is inductive, ascending knowledge. We speculate this and that, maybe this, maybe that. Maybe the moon is a piece of cheese. Some people think the moon is a piece of cheese. Camembert. That's why they went there, to get the cheese, you know. That's why they think. So, well, what's the truth, you know? And many young people during the Vietnam War in the 60s were listening to Bob Dylan. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. No answer. That's like the most important statement that I think Bob Dylan ever said. The answer is blowing in the wind. It's nowhere. It's everywhere, nowhere. Nobody knows the answer. Yeah. So, you know, that was our generation. We were looking for the truth. What is the truth? Because what are the facts of life? Birth, old age, disease, and death. You know, even the animals have to grow old and die, even though they eat. Even the animals have to grow old and die, even though they have sex. The animals have to grow old and die, even though they fight. The animals have to grow old, have diseases, and die, you know, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's not solving the problems of life. The real problem of life, Bhagavad Gita, the book of spiritual knowledge, says, Janma Mritu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dokshana Darshanam. Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin, all your big leaders, try and understand the real problems of life. It's not grabbing Ukraine or grabbing Greenland or Panama or blah, blah, blah. The real problem of life is old age, disease, and death and disease. Birth, old age, disease. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to grow old. Nobody wants diseases. So what are you doing about it, you big leaders? What you have to do, ISKCON here in Washington, is understand this science, spiritual science. Then you can make people happy. You can teach people the goal of life. Very easy. And it's not like, you know, you have to be a genius to understand this. There is God. God is great. And we are not God. We are His servants. Jesus is teaching the same. The Quran teaches the same. Torah teaches the same. Everyone knows God is great. Why not just accept it? In God we trust. On every dollar note, or maybe they've moved it off by now. Maybe it's in money we trust. Maybe in atomic weapons we trust, you know. But originally on the dollar note it said in God we trust. So what is God? Do we know what is God? So here we come. Prabhupada has brought the science of God. Simple. It's about time too. Now this can be the basis of a human society, the real United Nations, the science of God. We've got science of chemistry, we've got the science of maths, we've got the science of geophysics, we've got the science of astrophysics, science of biology. But where's the science of God? Nowhere. But here in this verse, Prabhupada is explaining the importance of the science of God. Now, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending like the animals, we're caught up in the law of karma. Well, first of all, you know, Bhagavad Gita says, we're not these bodies. We're not these bodies. Everyone can see. My hand, my nose, my finger, my mind. Well, who am I? I'm different. My body is changing from childhood to youth to old age, but I'm still the same. So I'm not under time. So if we act karmically, then we, according to Bhagavad Gita, we are reincarnated in another body. Sisi Radhamada Mohanki. We get another body, and then we have to grow old and have diseases and die again. So it's a useless waste of time. Without self-realization, human form of life is wasted. You can't expect a cat or a dog. Or yesterday I met a beaver. You know, it was an amazing experience. I went to the Potomac Rapids, the big rapids. And who should walk along the road but two beavers? You know what beaver is? Quite a big animal. Black, and he has a big flat tail. And they live in the water and they build dams. Are we no better than them? Do they think about the ultimate purpose of life? To get rid of old age, disease, and death? Do they think? No. All they're thinking about building their dams and having kids. And that's what we're doing also. Building a big house, having a car, you know, fighting Russia and Ukraine, blah, 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 defending. So when are we going to actually hear this message? Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I love you very much. You had pleased Srila Prabhupada so much by allowing us to build Rath Yatra carts. And you've also taken prasadam, Krishna prasadam. One time, Ram Bhadra told me in Brooklyn that they were having this big festival in the 70s for Bangladesh. There had been a big famine in Bangladesh, millions of people starving, dying. And so all the big groups like Bob Dylan, the Beatles, you know, Rolling Stones, they all came together. We'll give a free concert, and the money will go to Bangladesh. Everyone paid, you know, through the nose for the tickets, like $1,000 for a ticket. So Ramachandra was in the temple in Brooklyn. He got a phone call. He said, George Harrison wants a cup of dal. George Harrison wants a cup of dal. George Harrison, one of the famous Beatles group, and he's one that's most interested in Krishna consciousness. So Ram Bhadra said, hey, let's make a big feast for the concert for Bangladesh. And they made like 30 preparation, everything, rasgulla, sweet rice, samosas, everything, rice dal, sabji, so many sabjis, cheese pakoras, everything. And everything, so many sweets. And they went to the back room of the concert for Bangladesh. And they brought all the prasadam. Where's George Harrison? We've got a cup of dal for him, plus a lot of other things. And all the groups were there. And Donald Trump was there also. So he took prasadam. So our leader took prasadam. He helped us. So we're just praying that this little lecture, somehow or other, Donald Trump will hear. And he'll start reading these books. And these books will help him to make America great. MAGA. Make America great again. With the Srimad Bhagavatam, the science of God. People know in God we trust, but they don't know who is God. This verse is saying, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Service to God, Krishna, Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the source of all power, all knowledge, all detachment from bad things, and helps us to lead people to happiness and contentment, prosperity, everything we want for the nation. So we're not just asking Donald Trump, but Mr. Putin and Macron and whoever's in Canada now, every country. You need the science of God to lead your people, make them happy. So please take it. Thank you very much. ISKCON has these books, and they're published by Bhaktivinoda Book Trust. Please order them for all your schools and colleges, and make this the foundation for a new civilization. United Nations also. You should make the basis of United Nations spiritual foundation, spiritual knowledge, because human beings are meant for this. We're not animals, we're spirit souls. We can, with a little bit of meditation, we can understand we're not this body. So please take these books and chant this Maha Mantra. Simple mantra. You don't have to be a big scholar. 16 words. Actually, only 3 words. Hari, Krishna, and Rama. Krishna means the all-attractive person. Rama means the source of all pleasure. And Hari means the devotion, the entrance to Krishna through the female energy. All men love women, and women love men. This is natural. So the Supreme Woman is Hari. And we pray that she's the Supreme Mother, actually. She's our mother. So in this mantra, we're calling to our mother, Hari. Oh, please let me be a servant of Krishna and servant of Ram, the source of all pleasure. So this will make the world happy. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Haribo. Any time for questions, please. What time is this class supposed to finish? Well, half an hour ago. This class was supposed not to have started. Okay, question please. कोई प्रश्न है? कोई प्रश्न है? प्रश्न 4. Nepalese. Yeah, I mean, if the scientists say that there's a Big Bang, created the universe, where did the Big Bang come from? Simple question. Prabhupada, our leader, he asked the scientists this question. You say the universe came from some soup, primordial soup, or Big Bang. So who made the Big Bang? You see? Say if there's a big explosion somewhere, everyone would be trying to find the cause of the explosion. Common sense. Did it just happen by chance? So Bhagavatam is filling in the dots, making the picture complete. How everything happened and how it came from a person. In God we trust. So let's find out who is this God. So question please. Please ask your question. Then we can take prasthana. Haribo, Haribo. Jivananda, please ask your question. It's getting boring here. No question, that means I've failed. Even in Africa, they ask, what is this? What is this? Is this bird stool on the face? Yeah. Why you shave your heads? No question. Yeah, Mataji, is this Ananda? Why this is not being broadcast? In London, in Mayapur, the messages of Godhead are spread on the internet. Why we don't use it? I can't understand it. The center of the world, Washington, and it's not being broadcast. Mayapur TV, you can just join Mayapur TV. It doesn't cost anything, and then just buy a few videos, and it's everywhere. You preach to the nation. These people, the leaders, they don't know what's going on. They're helpless. They're just being forced by the modes of nature. They don't know what's good for the people. So we have to give them knowledge. So any question, please. Put me out of my misery, Haribo. Of course. Of course. Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. So one time I met Prabhupada, was in Bombay. And so I was new to Bombay. I was sent to Bombay by Gopal Krishna Maharaj to help with the management. So I heard the Prabhupada was on the roof in one of the buildings. Well, not the new building, they were constructing that. And I went up to the roof, and it was in the evening. Prabhupada was sitting on a small Vyasa-san and surrounded by the elite of Bombay, rich film stars and their wives and other people. So I was a little embarrassed because I was the only white-bodied person there. And I was saffron robes. And Prabhupada could see I sat down at a distance. So then his lady walked in with a wicker basket, you know, these traditional, how do you say, bamboo basket full of mangoes. Because that was the mango season, with a knife on top. And she went up to Prabhupada with a basket. And then Prabhupada signaled to me. And they put the basket right in front of me. And there I was. This basket of mangoes. I just arrived in India, went to Mayapur festivals, and I was supposed to cut these mangoes and distribute them. That was Prabhupada's indication. And I looked at the knife. It was like one of those kitchen knives that have been cutting subjects for like 50 years, you know. You couldn't cut anything with it. So, you know, I was a foolish person, you know. I picked up a mango. I didn't even know how to pick up a mango. You know, mango has two cheeks. And so then you're supposed to cut like this. I didn't know. I was just jabbing the knife into the mango. And everyone was having a laugh. All the ladies, Prabhupada, everyone was. It was a setup. Prabhupada set me up, you know. Prabhupada did this sometimes to amuse the people at the expense of his, you know, American or British devotees. So then, this like film star guy with one of these narrow jackets and everything, and he took out of his pocket a very stainless steel penknife, and he opened it, and he picked up a mango, the way you should pick up a mango, and he held the knife, just in the way that you're supposed to cut a mango, and he said, "Shall I teach you? Shall I show you?" He said. "Shall I show you how to cut mango?" So I nodded. Prabhupada said, "Just see, you need a guru even to cut mangoes." Srila Prabhupada ki. That's one incident. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Okay, what time's Prasadam? No. Any more questions, please? Yeah. Sorry. Was Harinam was my main service. Kind of, yes. When I got the Harinam from a devotee from London Temple, then I immediately went out on the streets and started singing. I thought everyone's gonna become a devotee in the next week. I've got the mantra, let's go and sing. And you know, so it always occurred to me that this was the solution to all problems of the world. But then, of course, I had to learn many other things in the temple, cleaning, deity worship, management, everything was there. But in the early days in London, 71, we would go out every day, 6 to 7 hours, morning and evening, and chant the holy names on Oxford Street, other street. And I'm not the only one. Most devotees in those early days, we spent most of our time on Harinam and distributing books. So now in my old age, I've done a lot of management, traveling, collecting. By the mercy of Harinam Ruchi Party, I'm able to retire, so to speak, and do Harinam and travel and give the holy name. So, yeah, it's my main activity. I get the most satisfaction from this. And from this verse, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Jana Yasuvaragyam Jnanam Cha Yadohitikam. I get knowledge and detachment by being absorbed in the holy name and going on the street, especially seeing other people join in. Yesterday we were in, what was that place? Silver Springs. Wow. We had a really good kirtan, Manager. You can't believe it. Well, everyone turned up, and Jivananda was leading, I was leading, and the kirtan was getting so intense, the people were just like sucked in. There were a lot of black people and other people, they were just watching, spellbound. And then they started to chant and dance, and then the books started to fly out. It was very intense. We got detachment from anything material. And we got knowledge. Knowledge, I'm not this body. I'm spirit soul. I'm a servant of Krishna. I'm doing what Jesus said. Jesus said, that I will make you fishers of men. Jesus' apostles. I always remember this story. My mother used to tell me this story. The fishermen were in the lake of Galilee. They couldn't catch any fish. Jesus walked on the water. Put your net down the other side. They did. They caught many fish. And Jesus said, come with me. I'll make you fishers of men. Preachers. So that's how Jesus was guru and he had disciples. So this seems to be natural, The holy name. People love the holy name, actually. When they hear the holy name, you can see in their face so much purification instantly. They kind of wake up from a dream, and they're on the transcendental platform. The eyes are like different, and then they start to dance, and it's ecstatic. This is a proof this mantra works. This proof is this mantra works, and of course you may say, well, they'll go back to their dope again, their sex again, their meat again. But this is planting the seed of bhakti in their heart that'll never be eradicated. Even if they do nonsense their whole life, they become junkies, they become murderers, they become whatever they are. Krishna will remember that they chanted Hare Krishna and they danced and sang. Krishna will save them. Next life they get a chance, 1% next life, 2%, next 10%. Who knows what Lord Chaitanya's plan is? But I just think this world is in such a mess right now that we need this Harinam. It's a powerful thing, It's a yoga, it's a sacrifice to uplift human society. So when I'm on Harinam, I think, okay, if they drop the bomb or I'm assassinated, it doesn't matter. I'm doing the right thing for Krishna. Harinam, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalona sevana, sevana seva gatina. This is the supreme benefit for all humanity. As simple as that, I want to do good. I've always wanted to do good for people. I was an artist. I was a modern artist. And I thought, well, I was doing good for people. But when I saw Radha and Krishna, in London, 1971. London, I realized, what's the point of doing any more modern art? Already the most beautiful things are here. Beautifully dressed, garlands, flowers, lighting, everything beautiful. So then I thought, the most important thing now is to bring people to understand who is God, Radha Krishna, Onitai, Sitaram. So what's the best way to bring people to understand the personality of God? To give the holy name. First the name, and then the form. And people get qualified, then the qualities of Krishna. This is science, So it's very nice question. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada King, Mahaprasadam King, Gauranga, Harinam Sankirtan King, Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj King, Srila Prabhupada King, Washington D.C. ISKCON King.